How many hours should you study to crack NEET MDS in your first attempt? Is it 6 hours, 8 hours, maybe even 12 hours a day? Or are you one of those students who think I'll just study just 4 to 5 hours and still get a rank? Well, does that really work? Let's break it down today, and I promise by the end of this video you will know exactly how much time you need to study based on your situation. If you have been struggling with study hours, low motivation, or feeling lost, then watch this till the end. You might just get the answer you've been looking for. First, let's bust a huge myth. More study hours equals more success. Have you ever heard someone say you must study 10 to 12 hours a day to crack NEET MDS? Or if you don't study 10 plus hours, forget about getting a good rank. Well, let me tell you a secret. This is not true. Why? Because it is just not about how many hours you study, but about how you study. If you study 6 hours with full focus, you are doing better than someone who sits for 12 hours but still wastes time. So before asking how many hours should I study, ask yourself, am I studying effectively? Are you studying the right way? Be honest, how often do you sit with your books but end up checking your phone every 10 minutes? How many times have you thought that I studied for 10 hours today, but when you actually sit and check, you only studied 5 hours with full focus? Here is the truth. Your actual productive hours matter more than the total hours you sit with books. Let me give you an example. So there is a student A. She studies for 12 hours but is distracted every single hour. And there is a student B who studies for 6 hours but with full concentration and smart techniques. Who do you think will perform better? Student B, right? So instead of focusing how many hours, start asking, am I studying with full focus? Am I solving MCQs daily? Am I revising what I study? Now let's break it down for different types of students. Let's get into the real question. How many hours do you need to study based on where you are in your journey, in your BDS journey or post BDS journey? First is if you are in your second year of BDS or in your third year of BDS and you are thinking, should I start NEET MDS preparation now? The answer is definitely yes, but you do not need to study 10 hours a day. Just 2-3 hours daily, focusing on strengthening basics from standard textbooks, making short and crisp notes, and solving at least 10 to 20 MCQs of daily. Right? Trust me, if you start early, your future self will definitely thank you later on. So the second situation is if you are a final year student. So this is a very tricky situation. You have university exams, and then you also have to complete your logbooks, you have to complete your practicals, and you have to complete your patient quota, and then you have the NEET MDS preparation. So what you should be doing is you first have to focus on your university exams and completing all your logbooks, completing your patient quota and all of the things that you have in final year. And then if you have some time, you should give 1 hour daily to the NEET MDS preparation. You can also solve 50 to 100 MCQs daily, but you should be focusing more on clearing your university exam rather than just NEET MDS. What you can do is you can clear your basics with all the dental subjects so you have more clinical knowledge, because nowadays more clinical questions are asked from the final year subjects, so you should be focusing on clearing your basics in the final year only. Balancing is the key in final year, so you should be able to balance your university exams and your NEET MDS preparation. The third situation is if you are an intern. Interns, listen up. This is your golden period to crack NEET MDS. You should ideally study 8 to 12 hours daily, but break it like this. What you can do is 4 to 5 hours for very new topics and 3 to 4 hours for solving MCQs, and then 1 to 2 hours for revision. This is how you should be making your schedule when you are an intern. So if you have long duty hours, if you're posted in prostho or you're posted in oral surgery or you're posted in ortho or in PhD where you have to also go to the dental camps, so what you can do is you can go home and practice MCQs at home. You should be taking tests in those days because you would be exhausted when you come back home and you will not have the energy to start new topics or to study new topics. right? So you can take mock tests or you can take subject tests on those days when you are posted in a busy department and you do not have very much time to study or start new topics. So you can just take tests. You can also revise some of the previous topics, and that way you will have such a hold on topics that you have read before, and then when you go on back revising, that you will be able to retain it better, you will be able to solve MCQs better, and you will be able to score in the test better, right? So this is the strategy you can follow if you are posted in a very busy department and you do not get much time to study in college. And for the departments like oral pathology and some other departments where there is less patient load and there is not much for you to do there, right? So you can also study in college, you can make notes, or you can attend your online classes in college, or some other thing you can do is you can also go to the library, sit there and try to utilize the time to the maximum limit. So now that you know how many hours you need to study based on your situation, there is even a more important question: how to make these hours super productive. Because let us be honest, just sitting with a book for 8 to 12 hours does not mean that you are actually absorbing the information. So this is the first technique. It is a time management method that helps you maintain focus and prevent burnout by making and breaking study sessions into small intervals. So how to use it for NEET MDS? Set a timer for 50 minutes, study with 100% focus and no distractions. Second is you can take a 10-minute break, stretch, drink water and close your eyes for 10 minutes. Repeat the cycle 4 times, then take longer breaks like for a 30-minute break. So why does this specific technique work is, it keeps your brain fresh, you will not feel exhausted even after long study hours. It trains your brain to focus deeply and study more. It makes long study sessions less overwhelming. Second technique is active recall. Instead of passively reading your notes, force yourself to retrieve the information. This improves long-term memory retention. How you can use it for NEET MDS is, after reading a topic, after you have read a topic, you close your book and try to recall as many key points as you can without looking. Second is you can write them down and then you can call them out loud or say them out loud. And then you should be checking your notes to see what you missed and then try to reinforce those missed points. Why does this work is, it boosts your memory and it boosts your memory retention by making your brain work harder, and it helps you recall information faster in the exam. So the next technique is spaced revisions. Instead of revising a topic only once, you can revise at multiple times at increasing intervals. So the first revision should be immediately after you have read a topic, second revision should be after 2 days, and third revision could be after 1 week, and the last revision could be after 1 month. This would be helpful in the later stages or in the last month of your exam, right? How will this help is, this will help you to recall better, to retain better, and then to solve MCQs better. Next is daily MCQs. This is a game changer for everyone. So why are solving MCQs is such a big deal, or why is it so important? Because NEET MDS is not a theory based exam, it is an MCQ based test. So you should be solving 100 to 150 MCQs daily. You should be analyzing your mistakes, write down the incorrect answer and reason why you got them wrong, or why you were confused in 2 points, or why you actually thought the wrong answer was right. Mark some weak topics and then revise them the next day that you got wrong in the question or that you got wrong in the test. So why does this work is it trains your brain to actually sit, and it basically simulates the exam environment, and you get to sit for 3 hours. You can see how your body reacts and how well you do in pressure, or how you are able to do it on a computer instead of just writing. So there is a difference when you are taking a test on a notebook or on a book, or solving those there, and when you are taking a test on the laptop or on your phone or on a screen. So you also get to see, or you also get to simulate the same environment there would be in a test in the final exam. Next is focused study blocks. it maximizes the learning in limited time. So how to structure your time? Instead of randomly studying different topics, you can structure your day like this. For the morning session, you have a fresh mind, and then there you can study the new concepts that you have not read before or which are totally and completely new for you. In the afternoon session after lunch, you can solve your MCQs and revise the mistakes of the previous tests or some of the things that you were having difficulty with. And in the evening session before dinner, you can revise some of the previous topics. So this is how you can structure your focused study block. Why does this work? Is it ensures balanced study of all subjects, it prevents mental fatigue, and it strengthens your recall ability. So let's put everything together into the perfect study schedule so that you can actually implement these strategies. So first is the ideal 8-hour study schedule. From 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. you can start your new topics, or you can do the concept learning thing. From 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. you can solve your MCQs and analyze your mistakes. And from 6 to 7:30 p.m. you can revise and you can active recall. And from 9 to 10 you can do a quick revision and you can see what your mistakes were during the whole day. You can use the Pomodoro technique, study in 50-minute focus blocks. You can also make short notes and effective notes, but also just do not try to copy exactly from the textbooks. Make your own crisp notes which are short and which are effective. And at the end of the day, you should be ending your day with a very quick revision. So if you are someone who only has 5 hours to study in a day, what you can do is you can divide it like this: 3 hours for the concept learning, for starting new topics, and 1 hour for solving the MCQs. You should be solving at least 50 to 100 MCQs daily, and the last hour for revision. However you want to revise, with spaced repetition, or you want to revise some of the topics you just read, or you want to revise some other topics that you had read a month before or a week before, right? So just the spaced repetition again. So this is how you can divide if you only have 5 hours in a day to study. Now tell me in the comments how many hours do you study daily. And remember, it is not about studying more, it is about studying better. Even if you study only 6 hours but do it efficiently, you can crack NEET MDS in the first attempt. And if you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with your study buddies. You can also watch my other NEET MDS strategy videos and follow me on Instagram for daily study tips. And you can, if you want PDFs for the revision, or you want past year question papers of NEET MDS, you can get those from the link in my channel, or you can text me on my Instagram. And good luck for your exam, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.